If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that sub button for more amazing content. Now, let's jump straight into the video.
What's good, YouTube, and welcome back to the Bofina1 podcast, and I am your host, Bofina1, and welcome back to episode 9 of the podcast. Episode 9, we're getting close to almost 10 episodes, guys. This is really great. As always, I appreciate all the support. I appreciate everyone that is liking the videos, sharing them, subscribing, commenting, and all that good stuff. The channel is really starting to grow. The views are starting to go up. The algorithm is liking it. It's pushing it out. Impressions, all that good stuff. So without further ado, let's jump into this podcast. So it's been a little bit of time. It's been about almost 2 weeks, I think, since I posted a podcast. Those of you who don't know, recently got a place, so been in the process of moving, buying furniture, all this stuff. It's just been kind of a lot of stuff going on right now. So it's kind of taken some time away for me to be able to make podcasts and just, I guess you could say in a sense, creating content, honestly, just in general. So this podcast might be a little bit shorter just because, I haven't really had a whole bunch of time to look into stuff, but there are some topics that I have wanted to take a look at. And the first one being the one that was just announced the other day is student loan forgiveness plan that was announced by President Biden. So essentially this plan is forgiving debt. So $20,000 if you went to college on Pell Grants, $10,000 if you didn't receive Pell Grants. And forgiveness applies to single earners who are making less than $125,000 a year, and those who file married jointly that make less than $250,000 a year. So this is a big deal. I've seen quite a bit of people talk about this, quite a bit of people discuss this topic, and it's mixed kind of reactions to this. Some people are really excited, like myself. This affects me. That $10,000 is essentially going to get rid of the last amount of debt that I have so that I can essentially be debt free. I don't have to be bothered. I don't have to deal with it anymore. And I'm appreciative because, like I said, a lot of folks didn't take advantage of the forbearance. They haven't been paying their loans. Like some people legitimately couldn't, afford, like maybe they lost their jobs and, it's just been hard for them to get back to it, right? But then you have some people that have been working, etc., and they're just like, oh, well, since I don't have to pay it, I'm not going to pay it. You get what I'm saying? So it's a mixture of both. I was one of the people that fortunately did not lose their job. So I've been able to continuously be able to keep paying my student loans. But you do have some people that did lose their job. And then, like I said, you have the group of people that are still working, but they just said, well, I don't have to pay it, so I'm not going to worry about it. And I kind of figured they were not going to just essentially wipe all student loans completely. So let's talk about the different perspectives of, like, I guess, what people are feeling or what are people's responses, right? So the first response is, the people that are happy. They're just grateful. They're like, oh, thank God, somebody is taking something off. Kind of like that's probably more where I fit into. Like, I'm just happy some money is getting taken off because I've been paying throughout the forbearance. I've been knocking my loans down. So now it's like, hey, this is about to be the home run. I can essentially be free. Then you have some people that are upset because maybe in previous generations, they feel like they've had to pay back their student loans. So why should people, in a sense, be given a freebie? That's what some people feel like this is a freebie. Well, what I would say to that is that the people back in earlier generations, like in my parents' age group, maybe even earlier, whatever, school wasn't as expensive as it is now. You can literally go to an okay school, and you may owe like $30,000 to $40,000 once you finish. And then let's not talk about the Parent Plus loan, meaning the parents take out the remainder of the difference that your child can't take out. Like my dad, he owed over $100,000 for mine. I mean, I'm getting close to being halfway done with that because I've taken advantage of the forbearance. Plus, if he gets, the $10,000 off, that will help as well. But the point being is that people weren't coming out having that type of debt. The type of debt they had, I would say, was more realistic, and it was more realistic for people to be able to pay off. Nowadays, the type of loan people are coming out with, people are literally coming out owing a property as their college tuition. And the way things are going, people are not going to be able to pay off their student loan debt. People are literally going to die before they pay off their debt. And this is kind of what the president had talked about. And that is that student loan debt is what's, they always talk about like millennials, like in my age group, why a lot of us are not buying homes, starting families, etc. We can't afford it because we have a $500, $500 monthly payment that we're locked to for the rest of our lives, not including all of our other expenses as well. So a lot of people are not able to afford to go buy a home. They're not able to start a family. They're not able to start that business. A lot of stuff people are not able to do because the amount of debt that they owe back would be equivalent to the amount of debt they would take on to actually maybe start a business or own a property or whatever the case is. And then you have the other group that feels that the $10,000 is not enough. They feel like, that's pennies, that's nothing. You're not going to get, it's not going to help. And I say to that, like I said, when I got like stimulus money, like everybody else did, I sent pretty much all my stimulus money into my student loans. Any tax return money, I sent that money in. Any bonuses from a job, raise, all that stuff. I've just been hoarding money to my student loans, right, during this pandemic. So I also feel like a lot of times those are the same people that are complaining, but those are also the same people that got stimulus money that went out and bought a new car that they didn't need. Those are people that got stimulus money that went out and took vacations that they didn't need to take. And now that things are coming to an end because the forbearance technically ends December 31st of this year, so meaning that January 1st of 2023 it comes out, those people are the ones that are complaining. But it's like, well, what the hell have you been doing for the past like 2.5 years? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the thing, you didn't have to pay. So even if all you could send in was $100 or $50 or something, it still would have made an impact to your debt. So I just feel like people are a little ungrateful in some ways. Like, I get it. $10,000, if you owe $100,000, like, I'm paying back my father's student loan, his portion that he took out for me. If you own that type, $10,000 is not going to necessarily help, but you have to look at it in terms of like percentage wise, right? So if you owe $100,000, and let's say you've been paying, right, and they take off $10K, that's 10% that you don't have to pay back now. You have to, like, I don't know. I just feel like people want everything for free. Like, it's been so much damn free money that's been flowing out here. Like, you got to be realistic. You can't get everything for free. You got to work for some stuff too. But yeah, nonetheless, I mean, I think it's great. I'm happy. It's a start. And that's the thing. We don't know what's going to happen next. Like, they may take off more money as time goes on. Like, you don't know that. So, like, you know what I mean? It's like people are getting their panties in a bunch. It's like, you don't know that. They could take off more money. They may decide to keep the loans in forbearance longer. This is just the plan right now. We don't know what's to come next. The other thing is that now the payment is going to be based on your income. So if you have undergraduate loans, you can cap repayments at 5% of your monthly income, where I believe before was 10%. So that's going to be better too. That means that may also help somebody who, the 10K may not be enough, but it's going to only be 5% of your monthly income. It's not going to be, oh, well, regardless of what you make, you got to pay this much, which can also alleviate some pressure for people as well, to make it more realistic, to give people a more realistic ability to move out. So that's why I said, like, I just think people just need to, just kind of wait and see what happens, right? So moving on to the next topic, I wanted to talk about my experience. I went to a concert with my mother this past week. I went to an Alicia Keys concert, had a really great time. I haven't been to a concert. Well, I haven't really been to an actual like artist, like a musician, an artist concert in a long time, or really in general. I used to go to other different types of concerts, but not that. And I must admit, I never really saw the hype in some ways why people wanted to spend a bunch of money to see somebody perform live. Even if it was someone that you really liked. My thing was always like, well, someone's going to post it online. You could see it online for free, but now that I went, I understand, because it's just that experience of seeing that individual live that, you just can't get. The crowd, the energy that the crowd brings, the vibration, the energy that the artist brings, it's a lot of different things that you just can't get from like seeing it on YouTube or watching it live from your house. You get the comfortability, right? But you don't get the same experience. Now, one thing that was really shocking, I know I've heard people talk about this a lot when they go to concerts, which I kind of don't understand either, but this is just my personal opinion. I don't really understand why so many people spend so much of their time recording the concert. Like, I get it. Okay. You want to post a little bit of it online, or, you want to have some memories because, you have a cell phone. You can, like, people's cell phones take better pictures now than some of these expensive cameras. So you can take videos, you can take pictures, et cetera, et cetera. But I don't understand, why would you want to spend like hundreds and thousands of dollars to go see somebody live? And it's almost as if you're not present, because you're spending your whole time recording everything. You're not really enjoying the live aspect or the live feature of it. And I also feel like that's like a generational thing too. Like, yes, it's because we have technology, but I feel like a lot of time nowadays people want to be able to post that, oh, I was here. People want to feel important. That's why a lot of people care so much about likes and views now. And, because they care about other people's perception of them. People want to be liked. They want to feel like they're important. They want to feel like a part of something versus actually enjoying the moment that's present. Meaning, like, if you're paying all this money to go to a live concert, you should be enjoying the concert live. You know what I mean? Like, that's not to say that, like, people shouldn't be able to do what they want. I'm just saying my personal perspective. I don't understand why you would want to spend all that money and to record it the whole time. It's like, I want to enjoy the moment and listen to the music, not be worried about being on my phone, posting everything on Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever the case is. But nonetheless, I did enjoy the concert. Alicia Keys is one hell of an artist, especially to see it live. And I was really happy that I got a chance to take my mom to that, because we was actually supposed to go last year, but I bought the tickets in 2020 to go to the concert in 2021. But due to COVID, it got canceled, so it got pushed back to this year. But it was worth the wait, and we definitely had a lot of fun. So if you're someone out there that may be contemplating on going to see an artist that you enjoy, like not just some random person, right? Like an artist that you genuinely like their music, you admire them, whatever. If you're contemplating on maybe you should go see them live, I would say don't hesitate. Like, I always, there's a point of, like, people like YOLO, like you only live once. And I do think that is true with some things in life. Like, sometimes in life, there's opportunities. If you have an opportunity to go see somebody or maybe even go do something, right? Take the opportunity, especially if it's not going to financially hurt you, meaning like, and there's people that, like, even if maybe you can't afford the up close seats, which that was another thing I liked about the concert. She had like maybe, 15, 20 minutes of the concert where she came further back and like was on a stage towards the people in the back. And I thought that was great. But even if you're someone, like I said, that maybe you can't necessarily afford a super close seat, maybe you just want to see the person, you just want to be there just to hear them live, because they do have a lot of big screens, so you are able to see them. So like I said, that's just my 2 cents. That's just my personal opinion on it. But like I said, I enjoyed it. And, that's just how I feel about it. Which kind of leads me to my next thing, right? About people being in close proximity. So monkeypox, that's a big thing. That's something else I wanted to talk about. Monkeypox is essentially like another form of chickenpox, but it appears to be a lot worse. Currently, we are in a state of emergency right now. And some of the ways, that it's pretty much transferred is like through touching people. So like, for example, let's say someone has monkeypox and you maybe touch their hand or rub up against them. You have a good chance of getting, especially like if you touch your face after. So that was one of the things that I was a little concerned about when going to the concert. And, I made sure I washed my hands. You try to wear a mask. Obviously there's only so much you can do, but I'm just making the point, like, that was something that was a little like frightening. It was like, okay, I hope I don't like come into contact with someone, like, let alone that has COVID, but also has monkeypox, because there's no vaccine for it right now. Well, there is, but there's not enough of it to go around, and it's spreading. And it's serious. Like, all of these various strands of, I guess, viruses that are coming out are real. And that's the weird part about it. It's like, they're spreading so rapidly now. It's like, you would think with all this science that we have, that a lot of this stuff we would be able to catch, and we would be able to, like, I guess, I don't want to say quarantine, but be able to stop it from spreading. It just really blows my mind. It baffles my mind that it just, I don't know how to explain it. It's just weird. Like, you would think that with the way the world is today, a lot of these diseases that are either being created or still going on, would not happen, and they just wouldn't spread the way they're spreading now. But yeah, monkeypox is real. Stay safe out here. Like I said, it's a lot of viruses going around, and it's, and I think a lot of it has to do with too, like, it's still summertime. A lot of people are, like I said, going to concerts, going to different things where you're around a lot of different people, and people are not wearing their masks and just a lot of stuff. So just be, cautious, try to do the best you can, wash your hands, all that stuff. And the last thing that I wanted to talk about, because like I said, this will probably be a little bit of a shorter podcast today, is, it's so interesting how people really want to know a lot about your life. And I've talked about this before because for those you don't know, I guess here's my plug, my Bofina1 life channel. That's my vlog channel. I've been vlogging on there, kind of showing my life, talking about my life, my moving journey, and just different things like manifestation, like giving you guys the ability to know a little bit more about me and my life, something that I feel like you don't get from like my main channel. You just wouldn't get it because that's like a commentary channel. And it's so interesting how like I've gotten more views on that channel than I have on like my main channel. It's weird. Like people really in real life want to know about your personal life. It's crazy. Like I think it's even the same thing with a lot of celebrities now. They're starting to realize it. That's the reason why like a lot of celebrities or like musicians, they're starting to make vlogging channels because they're realizing that, people want to know about their lives. People want to know about what do they do outside of music, right? What do they do in their free time? People want to know about that. And if you can captivate people and get their attention, you can really go far with the vlogging lifestyle. Like there's a lot of artists that are doing, I like Alicia Keys. I didn't even know she has kind of like a vlog series. She has millions of views off of that, 7, 8, 9, 10. You know what I mean? Like she's making bank. That's another stream of income. Will Smith, Jada Pinkett Smith, NLE Choppa, like rappers are starting to do it now. People are showing you what they call like a day in the life, and people are eating it up. Kevin Gates, like the list can go on and on about how many different people are adapting or accepting this kind of new culture wave. And it's also another stream of income if you think about it. Like these people are already millionaires, right? And if they can get millions of views, it just makes their situation even better. That's just more money for them, right? And then that may also turn into like a branding thing. People get to see maybe what other talents they may have. So it's just interesting, like I said, how interested other people are in your life. And this is to go out really to other YouTubers, because I was kind of like that. I was like, oh, I'm never going to do vlogging. I'm only going to do commentary, whatever. You should try different types of genres or niches because you never know what might stick. And that's what I've started to realize. Like commentary is cool and I'm going to probably continue to do it, but I'm also getting more traction from my podcast and my vlog. And that could just mean that maybe it's less saturated or just maybe how I speak makes people want to listen to my podcast more than my commentary. Or maybe my life is more interesting than my commentary. There's nothing wrong with that. And you have to look at it like from the sense of, okay, well, maybe if I get people interested in my podcast and maybe I get people interested in my vlog, then maybe I can push them over to my commentary channel. You know what I'm saying? Like I guess you kind of have to look at what pops, what is something that people are interested in, because that's really what it's about, is trying to get people interested and trying to get an audience that wants to come back to listen to you every week or every 2 or whatever, every day, every other day. They want to come back like a TV show. But yeah, guys, that was a long little rant right there, but I just wanted to get on here and pretty much just come back from the dead, because it's been a few weeks since I've made a podcast and I wanted to talk about a few things. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share, subscribe, comment down below. What are your thoughts on some of the topics that I discussed today? And yeah, that will be the end of this podcast, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.